Hey everybody, my name is Brittany. I've been studying the Bible since April 2017, and when I first started, I knew nothing about it, and it was a lot of information, overwhelming, stressful. So I wanted to start a Bible for beginners Bible study. Last week we started with 1 Samuel, and then I said I would go back and redo a part that I skipped through there. It was chapter 25. And I skipped it because it has to do with one of my favorite women of the Bible. Her name is Abigail. And Abigail is married to a man named Nabal. He's a very rich man. But he was also mean and rude and such. So King David sent some of his men to ask Nabal if he could give Daniel and his men some provisions for their stay. And he left and refused and kind of was pompous, saying, I don't even know who David is, because he was too good to know who David was, apparently. And then David's men went back and told David about it, and he took offense to it, as well he should have. So he readied 400 men for battle. Sorry. One of Abigail's servants told her about this, so she grabbed some bread and wine, 5 sheep, grain, all kinds of raisins and fig cakes, and set out to find David and his men without her husband knowing. And she found them. She apologized. She used the food as like an apology kind of thing, and apologized for her husband's rudeness. And so David blessed her and said that he would not attack her husband and her husband's men because of her. She told her husband she came home, and her husband was just, I think, was passed out drunk kind of thing. So she told him the next morning. And the way that it is written is that he turned to stone. Most people think that it was kind of like a heart attack. And then he died from it 10 days later. I'm trying to find it in my Bible here. And I might be able to if I wasn't in 1 Kings. It's like, what am I doing? Let's see. Okay, yeah. And then yeah, so most people believe that, and then it says he dies 10 days later, so most people believe it was kind of a heart attack. It kind of stunned him. And let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, so my version of the Bible says, then in the morning, when Nabal was sober, his wife told him all these things, and his heart failed him, and he became like stone. About 10 days later, the Lord struck Nabal, and he died. So when David heard of this, he actually came back to ask Abigail to be his wife. And so they married, and there's a lot you can learn about Abigail that I fell in love with her first time I read about her. She's beautiful and intelligent, and even David speaks of her intelligence in there. And but she was rich, married to a very rich, wealthy man, but she also kept her wits about her. She didn't go out getting drunk and acting crazy. She remained very humble, and she also knew how to handle things quietly and without having to tell the whole world. It's kind of like that saying now where us women were like, queens adjust other queens' crowns without telling the whole world. And she knew how to approach people, engage with people, show respect, and speak quietly and calmly. She knew how to fix things without people telling her how to fix things, but she also knew how to fix things on her own without other people knowing. She didn't, go off on her husband for being so rude. She just went and fixed it. She's a great woman to study, especially when you're dealing with, or you've got a friend dealing with a not so great husband. How to deal with those situations when they arise, when he's rude to somebody and you want to go fix it, and that kind of thing. So let's see, next week we'll keep going with Samuel. We'll start 2 Samuel, which continues with the story of David. So really, in my opinion, it should have been more named David than Samuel, right? Okay, you guys have a great week. God bless.